All right. Good afternoon, evening, whatever's next for you, wherever you are in this online matrix. I just got some things to say here real quick that I have to do this on Facebook Live because I got a strike on my YouTube account because I said something naughty, I guess, and they put a strike on my YouTube account and won't let me go live anymore. Isn't that nice of them? So, because I was a naughty boy and I said something that they didn't want me to say, they put me on timeout in YouTube land. So, I'm going to upload this video or record another one or whatever. But anyway, I just want to say something here. A few things. I just got done working out, so if I look kind of funny, that's why I always look funny, but whatever. Anyway, here's the thing, okay? The NRA boycott. Now, I understand Gun Owners of America. There's a few other associations that are better than the NRA, way better. So I'm not confused about that, okay? But here's the thing. All these people are pushing the NRA around, and they're trying to put pressure on these little snowflakes that are melting on the sidewalk, and they're having a hard time with liberty. They don't like liberty. They don't like freedom. Only if it means they can act like a bunch of ravenous dogs or wolves out there, or they can act like a bunch of pedophiles or homosexuals or perverts or whatever they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do. But if you're talking about liberty to preach the gospel, liberty to call out a fake or a phony when you see one, that they don't want. They only want liberty for them to act like a bunch of devils. That's all they want liberty for. Now, they have the liberty to do that, and God's going to judge them and throw them in the lake of fire. However, they don't have the liberty to shut everybody down. Now, this is a private platform, Facebook is. I realize they own it, so they can shut us all down. That's why we need to do something different. If we're going to do something with social media, we do need to switch over to something different that actually works. So, they can't shut us out and take our money with us and our dollars with us and start to starve some of these people out that do what they do. YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, if they're gonna censor people, then you know what? Then we need to find a way to fight that. Whether you have the NRA right now, and they're trying to pressure the NRA and pressure people that support the NRA sponsors. Because they hate gun rights. Why don't they just do an ad and be honest and say, we hate the Second Amendment. We don't think you should have any liberty, and we want a totalitarian dictator to take over, and we want to tell you what you can think, what you can do, where you can go, and what you can do. We're a bunch of fascist pigs. That's really what they should say. That's what they should honestly say. And that little skinny runt that goes on there that's doing all these videos around there, some little skinny runt that was probably eating Tide Pods last week, and now he's going to tell us what we can do with a firearm when he probably doesn't even know how to shoot a firearm. He probably don't even know how to shoot a rubber band across the room. All right. He's about as thick as a rubber band anyway. So, I'm not pulling any punches with any of these guys when it comes to that. I got a strike against me for asking a question of whether something was a false flag operation. It was a question. I didn't even say it was. And they said I was cyberbullying, which is funny. Well, they hate guns, they hate liberty, they hate everything else, and a bunch of Tide Pod eating little runts are going to run around and tell grown adults what they're going to do. And I think that's hilarious. That the Bible does say, though, that children shall oppress them and women shall rule over them. And this is what happens when real men stop standing up and being men and saying things that make people mad. That's it. You say the truth that makes people mad, and nobody wants to do that anymore because they're afraid of the backlash. Well, they're going to silence all of us anyway, so as much as they can. So let them silence us and just tell them the truth. This lost old wicked world needs some men to stand up and tell them the truth and show them what a real man is. And then we're not going to back down from them just because they limp their wrist and they eat a Tide Pod, and then they want to take on the NRA, and they want to take on gun rights, and they want to take on everything else. Look, I'm not like a flag waver or anything like that. People know what I stand for. I mean, but let's just face it. Let's be real here. They hate the Bill of Rights. They hate the First Amendment. That's exactly what they hate. And what they want to do is get us to shut up. If we'll just shut up and go away, then they can be as debauched and wicked. And they say YouTube's funny because they say they stop nudity and everything else. They're a bunch of liars. They don't stop any nudity and they don't stop any pornography and they don't really stop that stuff. They got a bunch of perverted stuff on there constantly. What they do stop is conservative Christians talking. They want to stop us. So, you know, what really needs to happen is we need to boycott all these losers and tell them we don't want to do anything with their business. We don't want to have anything to do with them and just get rid of them and be done with them all. That's the best thing that we can do, and preach the gospel to these wicked devils, because they don't want you saying anything about homosexuality. They don't want you saying anything about anything. Man, they want to stop you from saying anything. They want to censor you. Why? Because they can't handle the truth. In the court of public opinion, you get slaughtered. But when truth comes in and you have enough people that'll shout out the truth, guess what happens? People listen, and it changes minds and hearts. And they don't want that. They don't want that. So they're pressuring organizations like the NRA and you know, let's face it, okay? Let's be real. Why were there 3 deputies outside of that high school? And why was there a security guard that didn't go in there, that had a firearm, that didn't go in there and take care of things? Come on, man. This is getting fishier and fishier as time goes by. That something was going on there, okay? If anything, it was a coward. So this, to me, proves that you need to have gun rights even more. Because if these people that are paid to protect, they don't protect anybody, guess what? We don't need to have any of those people protecting us. We need to protect ourselves. We need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves. So you need organizations like maybe the NRA and Gun Owners of America and places like that. Why? Because they stand up for gun rights. Now, they've folded like an accordion, some of them have, and I'm not defending them in that right. What I'm saying to you is that, you know what, if that's the case, if these people that were supposed to protect us don't, guess what? We need to protect ourselves. And that's what the Second Amendment is for. So if anything, that little skinny, limp-wristed runt that eats Tide Pods, that's out there telling everybody not to have a gun and they shouldn't have guns, and he's fighting the NRA, that little runt is proving my point, that you're just a boy that doesn't need to try to step up to men and tell them what's real and what's not. And also that we need to protect ourselves, because guess what? Government's not going to do it. Not at all. So you and I have to protect ourselves. We have to hold to our Second Amendment rights. You know, our rights by God, recognized by the Second Amendment. We need to hold to those. This has been a public service announcement. I'm just kidding. Anyway, think about those things, because this is what we're looking at right now. It's a big psyop. It's a big game is what it is. And you got the president talking about all this stuff. What a bunch of nonsense. Get back to telling people, yeah, the only right thing you said in the whole thing is people should have been armed. Teachers should have been armed, because guess what? When people get shot at, they don't like it. When they get shot back at, when they're a criminal, they don't like it. You need to protect yourselves. Go out and get a carry permit, take some classes, go to the range once or twice a month, if that's all you can do, and learn to protect and defend yourself. That's what you need to do. Don't depend on government. Because 3 officers were sitting outside of that school and did nothing. But I could show you carry permit holders that when they're in jeopardy, when they see people in jeopardy, they have saved the lives of many people. Anyway, so censoring is going to continue. We're going to continue to be censored as time rolls on here. It's an antichrist world we live in, and we're going to be censored. So stand up for the truth. Preach it loud, preach it strong, tell them the truth, and don't back down for anything. Have a good night.